Now, I was a former Democrat, but like, for instance, look at the January 6th, some of the people that are in prison and facing charges just for going to a rally, to this demonstration. They weren't violent, they weren't threatening, they weren't doing anything, they just attended. Some of them are facing jail time. A lot of them were under FBI surveillance, similar to what I went through. And the same thing is also happening to the ex-president, Donald Trump. Now, I didn't vote for Donald Trump. I didn't vote for anyone in 2020. So, so people that want to try to call me, like I was working for Donald Trump. Nope, never worked for him, didn't have any association. But I recognize the fact that they targeted him, and now they use similar tactics, even more tactics on him, and on trying to destroy his reputation, people around him, jail them, eliminate him from the political discourse. So this is an important case because I think it's going to, lead to others. I think it's going to deal with revelations of what the FBI and DOJ are doing.
Oh, definitely. And I think, again, it's so important to kind of keep harping on this, is that you have some corroborating evidence, right? That you worked as a staffer with Biden, so you can be placed physically with him. And then this complaint does exist, the original one from 1993. It's just, we want to see the copy, right? We want that to be released. And this is part of the documents that you want to have released. If they have nothing to hide, why won't they release it? And it's interesting, like you're talking about this disparity in treatment, how you're being treated, how Juanita Broaddrick and others were treated when coming forward against Bill Clinton. And then you see how, say, Christine Blasey Ford was treated. She was a woman that you couldn't even place her in the same room as Brett Kavanaugh. Remember, during the confirmation hearings of the now Supreme Court Justice, she couldn't remember dates or years or times or what exactly happened. She would try and give evidence that she said would corroborate, talking about a long-term partner and her fear of having certain doors placed in certain ways, brought back bad memories, she said. And then her long-term partner of 10 or so years said, I actually don't remember any of that. So it's strange that a woman you couldn't even really place together with Kavanaugh couldn't remember anything, had no corroborating evidence, and yet remember how she was paraded around for months and months and months. And then, of course, we see how you've been treated. We've seen how, like I said, Broaddrick and others have been treated. And I think that speaks volumes right there. So, of course, you now are in Russia. You'll probably get all the talking heads, right, who are a little go aflutter. They go, ooh, Russia, the puppet, the Putin puppet, right? Trump.
Let me speak to that for a second. Let me speak to that, because one of the things that I did speak about, because I had worked for Biden, because I had worked for Leon Panetta as an intern, I have a law degree, I studied international relations, and I'm a geopolitical analyst. And one of the things that I did talk about in 2019 publicly was that if Joe Biden was elected, he would take us to war with Russia. What happened? Ukraine, right? A couple of years later, the proxy war that the US and NATO is fighting. And today, 200 or recently, $200 more million has been approved to go to Ukraine. So, and that's not helping the taxpayer money. So I was outspoken about the Russophobia, about the games that I saw getting played. I was seeing corruption. So I spoke about my case, but I also spoke about the corruption. And this is very key. So they weaponized against me basically and called me, a Russian asset from the beginning. So how I came to Russia was that I was getting a lot of threats during this time, right? Because I was about to testify before the US Congress against Joe Biden about weaponization. Matt Gaetz and Marjorie Taylor Greene had invited me, and so we were getting ready to do that. I came here because my book is being translated into Russian and other languages. I was overseeing the translation. I had packed for 7 days. I was only here for vacation. And then halfway into it, I was told by former US, that had ties to intelligence, and also by US Congressman Matt Gaetz, that my physical safety was at risk if I came back. Now, I was told more about the criminal stuff from the former, security people. They were saying, if you come back, you'll most likely be arrested. There's a sealed case against you, a grand jury impaneled. And because it's sealed, I don't know what it's about. I still don't. And so they said it's not safe. But when I talked to Matt Gaetz, I spoke to him on the phone, told him where I was. He said, Tara, I know how these people operate, and I'm concerned about your physical safety. Now, when you have a sitting congressman tell you your physical safety is at risk, are you going to get on that plane? I mean, he's on the Intelligence Committee. I listened to him. I also listened to I listened to several people that knew.